So this is a functional subgrouping practice community call. And I have crossed the time boundary. It's a 20-minute call. And I'll start with centering. So I'm more present now. And I move to the section news and distractions. News is I've heard back from André. So now I can invite the other people, the new people, to join this community, this group. And I can provide them the recordings we have created so far. Now that news is I've asked the Russ who said he doesn't want to, he wants to focus on other things, if I still should notify him. Or if he prefers to be taken off the mailing list. And I'll move into functional subgrouping. I love how this practice helps me to structure my day. I have a little son and he sleeps 2 hours, about 2 hours in the afternoons, but I never know when exactly he will fall asleep. And so I used to wrestle with him to get him to sleep, and then I was a bit low on energy, and sometimes the 2 hours of me time were just wasted somehow, or I didn't find energy to do stuff. And with this practice community calls, the first thing I do as soon as he sleeps is to run to my computer and write down a note for the others to tell them when I'm available. And then I'm already up and running and I can use that time to the time until the call starts to do some other things that are I'm glad that I'm doing them. So today I made a little, prepared a little bit of food and coffee for my partner. and I wrote some emails. Yeah. And it gave me clarity to know that now I have this section of time where I can do whatever I want. And then there's the next section where others might join me, or I'm making space and I'm making myself available for others. I'm looking forward to that, maybe meeting someone, and also just for taking the time to practice something that I enjoy. Anyone else? Nelly, you're full of joy for the structure you gain by both announcing the call and then also being there on time to host it. Having something to look forward to gives you energy, which you otherwise would find difficult to summon. Yeah, and I've started to spring up more of these calls in other contexts, in other groups I'm part of as well. I'm using the same structure to announce it. I have a group where I post a message in advance that I will be available. And then I take the time that I announced that I would take for the call, no matter if someone shows up or not. And it's interesting how these how the different groups react to that. And the most valuable group call of this type, which I'm holding, is a call with my family, my closest relationships, the family of my partner and my own family. The reason why I value these calls so very much is that I find it so hard to bring what really matters to me to a conversation with my family. And if I assign this time to talk about what I want to talk about, and nobody shows up, I can really just focus on what I would find valuable to bring to a conversation with my family. And that gives me some voicing what I want to bring to them, gives me practice to voice it as well when I'm together with them. Anyone else? Nelly, uh, you have similar schemes, you've created similar schemes to arrange calls in other groups. It's interesting how this changes the groups, the way you relate with the people in the group. And the most notable and valuable change you see in a group where you arrange calls with your family, and if nobody is available, you just take the announced time to explore your own thoughts and feelings in relation to the family. And that gives you a chance to, for the first time ever, really get clear and find words for those thoughts and feelings. And then when you have a conversation with other members of your family, find it easier to bring those thoughts into the conversation. Bring yourself more fully into the conversation. Another thing that I've noticed in other groups was a call where two people joined a 20-minute call. And it was a really rich and dense experience to have that call. So the knowing that the time is limited and it's a short time can help to work, stay concentrated. Anyone else? Another thing you noticed in another group was when multiple people joined, it was a different experience to your usual meeting with these people because the time was shorter than usual and the conversation was quite focused and short and valuable. And then moving into surprises and learnings. I'm surprised by the pace of this call. It seemed like after every share, I immediately had something to move on. And I didn't have a desire or didn't look deeper in myself if there would be something more important for me. And I'm not sure if I like that or don't like that. But I'm glad to have noticed it. The discovery that this time I used the call to talk about things that mainly are important for myself. And maybe others are in a similar situation, others from the practice group, but I wouldn't know. And I noticed I've learning that I was a bit in a rush when I started this call. I was even late. And that this fast pace seems to have um, perpetuated during the call. And I've seen that before on the call with Vic one day when my son has been awake and I was under a lot of tension. And have a next step to explore such feelings of tension when they occur in a call. And have a next step to invite further people to these meetings. Those who have said they are interested in a functional subgrouping practice group. And that's a time boundary.